Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV, back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive day. I'm just chilling at work right now, just enjoying my break, back at y'all with another video on the road to 3K. We well into the 2100 mark. We actually at the mid 2100 mark. Shout out to the nation and the mob for making this possible. All right, y'all, I'm back at y'all with another video just to discuss what's currently going on in the boxing world. According to Turki Alalshikh, man, Turki Alalshikh, you feel what I mean? Riyadh season, you know, he came out with a long tweet, and he pretty much told you exactly what was going on with him and you know, what he has in his plans moving forward. You see what I mean? And probably the biggest thing that he has said out of all of this was he was no longer pursuing the Canelo fight for Terrence Crawford. You see what I mean? And, you know, I think that's great news in all honesty, because I was one of the people that was actually on YouTube that told you that I didn't really care to see that fight between Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. I just think that it was a meaningless fight in all honesty. You know, I looked at it like merely as like a money grab for Terrence Crawford. But, you know, Terrence Crawford is one of the greatest of this era, man. He's been doing some historical shit. I think that he's a legend, first ballot Hall of Famer in my opinion. And I didn't really want to see him, you know, put on an additional 14 pounds when he's struggling with guys like, you know, from a strength aspect, you know, Israel Madrimov having tough competitive fights with dudes in his first, you know, move up to 154. So I wouldn't really care to see him put on an additional 14 pounds to face an experienced Canelo Alvarez. You see what I mean? I didn't really want to give Canelo Alvarez credit for defeating Terrence Crawford or anything like that. And I just didn't want to see Terrence Crawford in that situation. You feel what I mean? I just think that it was too many things that just played into Canelo Alvarez's benefit. And, you know, it's just, you know, if it's not a 50-50 or a really competitive fight, in my mind, I don't really care to see it. You feel me? So I thought that was great news, but then he went on to say how, you know, he's looking forward in the future to helping, you know, these fighters such as Terrence Crawford, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Cepeda, Jared Anderson, you know, Jaron Ennis, if I didn't mention him. So he's letting you know exactly who he's looking to make fights with in the future. But in the meantime, he's focused on these cards that's going to be coming up. He has September 21st with Daniel Dubois and Anthony Joshua. So, you know, he's locked in on that, just making sure that that event is going to be all good. Then he's letting you know that, you know, he got Dimitri Bivol versus Artur Beterbiev fight going on in, I believe that's October. And then, you know, later on in the year, we're going to have the rematch between Alexander Usyk versus Tyson Fury. And he said just to stay tuned, you know, to stay posted with what he got going on. So pretty much what I took from Turki Alalshikh's situation is he's done dealing with, you know, Canelo Alvarez. That's something he doesn't want anymore. And I think that, you know, because he has such a great relationship with Terrence Crawford, because he has such a solid, you know, foundation with Terrence Crawford, that, you know, he's going to keep his word. And his word was if he wasn't able to get the Canelo fight, he's going to give Bud whatever fight that he wants, you know, outside of Canelo Alvarez. You see what I mean? So that could open up a lot of big opportunities for Terrence Crawford. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. And I'm just looking forward to seeing him active, man. You know, this is the later end of his career. I don't want to see no more 1 year layoffs, 1.5 year layoffs. You see what I mean? Let's get these guys active and, you know, keeping them in their mix and keeping them in the mix and keeping their faces on the TV screens. You see what I mean? So I'm looking forward to that. I like the fact that, you know, he's openly acknowledging that he will be working with Shakur Stevenson. So, you know, there might be a deal that might be in place soon where it might be some type of partnership between, you know, Turki Alalshikh, you know what I mean, or, you know, possibly Eddie Hearn. I see Shakur sitting down with Eddie Hearn, and I heard the exchange that Turki Alalshikh and Eddie Hearn and Shakur had together in that one moment. So I wouldn't be surprised if he signs a partnership with Matchroom, or he just be on his free agent shit and just be working strictly with Turki Alalshikh. You feel what I mean? So that's actually some dope news. You know what I mean? I like that he's willing to, you know, put these great young fighters in the mix amongst each other and get some good competitive fights going. And he's letting you know, like, yo, I got the fight dates. You know what I mean? And it seems like Turki Alalshikh isn't going to be going anywhere anytime soon. So I'm really looking forward to that. You feel what I mean? So that's what I wanted to speak about in terms of, you know, what Turki Alalshikh had announced. Like I said, I'm happy that he's no longer looking for that that Canelo fight for Terrence Crawford. There's so much more other fights that's out here that makes more sense and is more meaningful. You know, I would much rather see him get in the ring with Jaron Ennis and stuff like that. And Turki Alalshikh has said that, you know, he would like to see Crawford fight Virgil Ortiz and stuff like that. All good competitive fights. You know, Jaron Ennis is still at the top of my list when it comes to possible Bud opponents. But regardless, you know, I feel like Bud should focus on the 154 division and, you know, possibly look to become undisputed in that weight class. You feel what I mean? Jermell Charlo is about to get back in the mix soon. So 154 is about to get shaking and moving before we know it. You feel what I mean? Another thing that I wanted to speak about, man, just going into a totally different topic. You know, Edgar Berlanga has said this one thing, and it just lets you know that what he's thinking about subconsciously. You know what I mean? Because, you know, if you ramble or you talk too much, a lot of the things that's on your conscience will eventually slip out. You feel what I mean? How you truly think about things will slowly but surely slip out. And one of the first things that he has said on this Breakfast Club interview, man, shout out to Charlamagne, DJ Envy, Just Hilarious, and all that. Edgar Berlanga said, man, I ain't supposed to be here. That was like one of the first things he said just to open up the interview. And I was like, yeah, you damn right. You don't deserve to be here. You feel what I'm saying? And I know he was trying to put it in a way where it was like, yeah, man, because, you know, I come from the trenches. And, bro, we have to stop this narrative that because we came from, like, impoverished areas that we're not supposed to be in unique situations or beneficial situations. You feel what I'm saying? There's been plenty of examples of motherfuckers who done came from third world countries, people that done came from the bottom of the bottom and, you know, ended up becoming self-made millionaires, self-made billionaires. You feel what I mean? So this whole narrative with because you came up in the hood, you're supposed to stay in the hood and shit like that is absolutely ridiculous. You feel what I mean? We just need to throw that away altogether. You feel what I mean? There's been people that have come from the same neighborhood as me, like Wallow and Gilly, that, you know, essentially are millionaires. You know what I'm saying? We got people, you know, Kevin Hart lives right up the block from where I was from, and he's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Is Kevin Hart going to say, oh, I don't deserve to be here? No, he deserves to be here. He worked his ass off to get in that position. Edgar, I'm sure, you know, you might be unworthy. You know what I'm saying? Let's not get it wrong, but I'm sure you worked hard to an extent to, you know, get to a Canelo Alvarez fight. You feel what I mean? So, you know, we need to throw that shit all away altogether. But Edgar Berlanga is letting you know what's on his mind. Like, I don't deserve to be here. He knows that there's more credible people that's in front of him. He knows that, you know what I mean, he didn't really do anything to get this opportunity. He was simply just a cherry pick on Canelo Alvarez's resume. You feel what I mean? So I just wanted to touch on that. I thought that was really interesting. So going on into the final topic was Canelo Alvarez saying that Terrence Crawford is easy money. You see what I'm saying? Canelo Alvarez says that there's weight classes for a reason. And, you know, Terrence Crawford felt the difference when he was at 154 pounds. He thought Terrence Crawford lost. It was a draw, best case scenario in his opinion. And because weight classes matter, he feels like Terrence Crawford wouldn't be able to stand in there with him. You see what I mean? He said, listen, like Terrence Crawford, he's a talented dude, so he probably feels like he could do something, but, you know, it's going to be different when he goes into that higher weight class with me. And I'm inclined to agree with Canelo Alvarez in this situation. I'm not a big fan of dude or anything like that, but I do think that if Terrence Crawford goes up to 168, I do think that it'll be some easy money for Canelo Alvarez. You feel what I mean? If you put Terrence Crawford in a full-fledged 168-pound body, I got Terrence Crawford all the way. But when you just moving up 7 pounds into a different division and you having trouble, you know what I'm saying, walking down or, you know, being the stronger fighter against Israel Madrimov, you know what I mean, you having a chess match with him and making sure you're not getting hit by him, then you move on to an additional, you add on an additional 14 pounds to face Canelo Alvarez, who's boiling down from maybe 190, 195 to, you know, make the weight limit. You know what I mean? You're going to be in a bad situation. You know what I mean? Your legs not going to be as, you know, your defense was kind of faulty in the 154-pound weight class. So how am I going to be reassured that your defense is going to be any better at the 168-pound weight division? You know, these are things that we got to take into consideration. You know what I mean? But Canelo Alvarez seems pretty confident. He's like, listen, man, like, you know, if they offer me the right amount of money, I'll take it. But, you know, it's easy money. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's an easy payday for him. So it might come off as a little bit disrespectful in Terrence Crawford's direction, considering that, you know, he's a very accomplished fighter, one of the best fighters in the world. But weight classes do matter. And moving up too many weight classes can put you in a bad situation. It's definitely an uphill battle because, like I said, these dudes are bigger, they're punching harder. You know, their punch resistance is a lot greater than the ones that's in your weight class. And if you're having trouble trying to stop somebody who's a big 154, I can only imagine how much of a struggle it'll be to hurt or impose your will on a man who's a full-fledged 168-pound fighter. You see what I mean? But that's my overall take on this situation, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about each topic, from the Turki Alalshikh statement to Edgar Berlanga's little comment on the Breakfast Club, along with Canelo Alvarez calling Terrence Crawford easy money. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. This is Mazuma TV. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm out of here, man. Peace.